All right, so today we are going to go over function notation. So this should be something that you've hopefully seen a little bit before. So when a function can be written as an equation, the symbol f of x replaces y, and it is read as the value of f at x, or simply f of x. This is definitely what you're more familiar with, right? So you would read this as f of x. This does not mean f times x, okay? I know we talked about when you have letters right next to each other, like if we had, x, y, right, that would mean x times y. It does not mean f times x, it means a function. So replacing y with f of x is called writing a function in function notation. So for example, if we had like y equals mx plus b, if we wanted to write this in function notation, we replace the y with f of x, just like that. Now this is important. It says f of negative 3 means negative 3 is your input, and you plug it in for x. F of x equals negative 3 means that your whole function is equal to negative 3, and you plug into the y. So basically what they're telling you here is that written this way, your x value is negative 3. If it's written this way, your y value is negative 3, okay? So keep in mind, for f of x equals, we'll just put I'll just make up a function, 2x plus 3, right? This is your x value, and then what it equals is your output, okay? Another way to think of it is maybe, let's say we had like f of x equals, actually we could even do it this way. Let's say we say f of 2 equals 10, all right? Your input is 2. Your output is 10. And we know that when we write an ordered pair, it's input comma output. So if you wanted to write this as an ordered pair, it'd be 2 comma 10. All right, that's what they're trying to show here. All right. So let's go ahead and do this one. It says if f of x equals 2x minus 3, find the following. So they want us to find f of negative 2. So what that means is we are going to go ahead and take negative 2 and plug it in for x. So we're going to do 2 times negative 2 minus 3. So when I do this, I get negative 4 minus 3, which should give me negative 7. All right, I want you to go ahead and see if you can find f of 7. So use this equation and find f of 7. So when you do that, you should do 2 times 7 minus 3, which gives us 14 minus 3, which gives you 11. All right, so hopefully that was pretty familiar. Now, sometimes there will be multiple x's in an equation. When this occurs, simply replace both values of x. Or if there's, if there's more than 2, if there's 3 x values, you plug it in 3 times. However many x values there are, that's how many times you have to plug in the number. So here we have h of negative 3. Now make sure you keep them in parentheses. Notice how I kept my input in parentheses there. You're going to want to do the same thing here as well. So you're going to go plug in negative 3. So we do negative 3 squared minus 3 times negative 3 plus 5. So we get 9. And then this is going to be plus 9 because it's negative 3 times negative 3, which gives us a positive 9. Plus 5, which is going to give us, 18 plus 5, which is 23. All right, go ahead and try B. Try and find h of 5. So when we do this, you should get 5 squared minus 3 times 5 plus 5, which gives us 25 minus 15 plus 5, which gives us 15 as our final answer, right? Because 25 minus 15 gives us 10, plus 5 should give us 15. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead. We're going to skip on down to this part here. All right. It says fill out the following table of values. So this is our function, and we need to find f of x. So these are our inputs, right? So to find f of, we could say, f of negative 2, right? I need to go plug in negative 2 here. So I'm going to do 2 to the power of negative 2 plus 5. Now, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to go on my calculator to show you guys how to plug this in. So I'm going to do 2 to the power of negative 2. Notice how I use the negative sign, not the subtraction sign. And then I add 5. So I got 5.25. All right. So then I'm going to do f of negative 1. So to find f of negative 1, I'm going to do 2 to the power of negative 1 plus 5. Notice I'm just replacing where that x is. So 2 to the power of negative 1 plus 5 is going to give me 5.5. Now, one thing you want to be aware of, when you are plugging into the exponent, make sure that you use the cursor to get out of the exponent. You're going to want to press the left arrow. Unfortunately, I can't point, but the left arrow button on your circle, or on your calculator. Oh my God, the right. I'm struggling. All right, so to get out of the exponent, you click that right arrow button. So just for an example here, we'll do this next one. It's going to be f of 0 is going to be 2 to the power of 0 plus 5. So specifically, we're going to do 2, do the caret to get a power, and then I'm going to plug in 0. Now, to get out of the power, I press my right arrow key, plus 5, and I end up with 6. All right, so go ahead, and I want you to fill in this. What is f of 1? So for f of 1, you should get 7, right? Because you're going to do 2 to the power of 1 plus 5, which gives us 7. For f of 2, 2 to the power of 2 plus 5 gives us 9. And then go ahead, tell me what f of 3 is. What is f of 3? So we're going to do 2 to the power of 3 plus 5 gives us 13. All right, so this is our chart here. All right, and first off, they say, what type of function is this? Well, this is an exponential function. Okay, you can see because you have the x in the exponent. All right, so this is exponential. All right, and then they want us to graph this, so we can do that. We've got negative 2 and 5.25, so negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there, and then we've got negative 1 and 5.5. So it'd be right there. We've got 0 and 6, 1 and 7, 2 and 9, so it's 7, 8, 9, and then 3, 10, so we're actually up here. So it's going to look something, whoa, it was pretty ugly. Something like that. All right. All right, so now they want us to use a table of values. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these with you. They want us to find f of 3. So what this means is that our x value is negative 3, right? So if we want to figure out what this equals, we need to figure out the y value when x is negative 3. Well, when x is negative 3, my y value is 2. Then I look, they want f of 8. So see if you can figure out what f of 8 is. All right, your x value is 8. What does f of 8 equal? You should get 4. All right. Then it says if f of x equals 9, what is x? So what they're asking here is when your y value is 9, what is your x value? Well, go find a y value of 9. Your x value is going to be 2. All right. And then for this one, it says if f of x is equal to 0, what is x? So again, your y value is 0, or your f of x value is 0. What is your x value? You should get 20. All right, because the point here would be 20 comma 0. Your y value is 0. Your x value is 20. All right, awesome. We are making progress, my friends. All right, so now it says sometimes instead of finding the value of the function at a given x value, you will be given the value of the function, then asked to find the value of x. In these cases, replace the function notation and solve rather than use x. Use the functions defined in the examples above. So I feel like that was confusing the way that they worded that. I was confused when I read that. Basically, all they're telling you is you are going to, if they say f of x is equal to 15, what that means is you can just replace this f of x with 15. Okay? So you could rewrite this, and you set this function equal to 15. They're saying the function is equal to 15. What is x? All right? So then I go ahead and add 3 to both sides. I get 18 equals 2x. Divide by 2, and I get x is 9. All right. So again, when you see something written like this, if they say f of x is equal to something, you can replace f of x with that value. All right. And I got one more. So go ahead and scroll to, you're going to scroll to what? Page 16 real quick. I want to do a couple of these with you, because I think these always trip people up. So now this time they gave us a graph. So before it was an actual like written function, or we had a chart. In this case, they gave us a graph, which it works the exact same. They say find f of -4. Well, this means that my x value is -4. So they're looking for my y value, right? So what's my y value when x is -4? So I'm going to go to -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's -4, 2. So my y value is going to be 2. All right. Now, let's try this one. F of 0. So my x value is 0. What is my y value? If we look, when my x value is 0, my y value is 0 as well. All right. Then it says find x when f of x is 2. So they're saying, well, find x when your y value is 2. Now, when they do this flip-flop, right, where they give you the y value, you might have multiple x values that have a y value of 2. So I just highlighted y equals 2, the line y equals 2. You can see that this function has a y value of 2 at -4, and then it's also going to have a y value of 2 at about, I don't know, let's say -0.75. All right, so you're going to actually have to put two answers there. It's -4 and -0.75. All right, so those are a little bit trickier, but just kind of be aware of that.